Welcome back. Johnson & Johnson says it will discontinue its talc-based baby powder worldwide. This comes about 2 years after doing so here in North America. The pharma giant faces nearly 40,000 lawsuits claiming the powder caused illness, including cancer, because of asbestos contamination, which is a known carcinogen. J&J says it stands behind decades of independent scientific analysis confirming its powder is safe. Driving off with that shiny new car is likely to cost more than ever. Kelley Blue Book says the average price Americans paid for new vehicles in July hit a record of more than $48,000. Unusually high demand and low inventories are driving prices higher. And once you buy a car, the expenses keep mounting. AAA says owning a vehicle now costs close to $900 a year, up $100 since last year. If you've noticed that turkey is hit or miss at some delis and restaurants, you're not alone. While the grocery store is able to switch suppliers to find turkey, it often runs out quickly, and it's becoming a guessing game for whether shoppers will be able to fill their carts.
I would say for the last 2 or 3 weeks here, they've had a sign up saying there's a shortage. We've had some kind of off brands that they don't normally carry, sometimes completely out.
Minnesota is the #1 turkey producing state in the country, but supply chain issues have been a problem since the beginning of the pandemic, and this spring's wave of bird flu only made the issue worse. Some stores are already recommending putting in your Thanksgiving order sooner rather than later. Warming ocean temperatures from climate change are causing the European green crab population on the East Coast to explode. Now, a New England distillery is harvesting the invasive species for a new kind of whiskey. Elise Preston reports.
We start with a good sniff.
At Tamworth Distilling in Mercantile, Will Robinson is introducing visitors to his small batch handcrafted whiskey infused with flavors from the ocean.
And what am I tasting?
You get the whiskey and then you get the, once you swallow it and you get it down, you get kind of some of the butteriness of the meat.
The meat comes from European green crabs, harvested along the New Hampshire coastline. The first batch of Robinson's Crab Trapper whiskey sold out shortly after hitting distillery shelves.
What has the response been like?
Insane.
The unusual whiskey crab pairing isn't just about flavor. Robinson is helping control the green crab population.
Their sheer numbers are kind of throwing things off, not leaving enough food for in one place in the ecosystem, and then just wreaking havoc in other ways.
The European green crab arrived on the East Coast about 200 years ago after hitchhiking on boats from overseas. Recent warming sea temperatures have caused the population to increase dramatically, and it's now one of the most invasive species in the U.S., threatening communities of oysters, clams, and mussels.
We don't get the really long, cold winters anymore, and so they can start mating and reproducing and doing all what they need to do earlier and longer.
Gabriella Bront with the New Hampshire Sea Grant says green crabs are tough to eat because they have a very hard shell and very little meat. She's working to find a way to identify when the green crab is about to shed its hard shell. A new soft shell means the whole crab can be eaten.
Get people a taste of a really good seafood product. We do a pretty good job eating down populations.
They're already on menus in New England and now in a whiskey.
It's an experience that brings about environmental awareness.
Awareness Robinson hopes will push others to deal with invasive species across the country. Elise Preston, CBS News, Tamworth, New Hampshire.
There are trials underway to turn the green crabs into other products too, like pet food and fertilizer. We'll take one